You notice that the bees are there fighting and they're trying to sting each other. Hey again guys, so back with you with another video, and today we're going to be looking into robin and what does an apiary look like when you have robin, how can you prevent robin, or when you see robin take place, what can you do to stop robin or to at least minimize it. So let me just explain to you what robin is, and then I'll definitely show you exactly what robin looks like. So robin takes place in the dirt period, and from one of the video that I explained the last time, a dirt period is a period where you go through where there's limited nectar or pollen flow. So the bees pretty much in that instance they will try to get nectar or nectar or pollen from anywhere that they can get it from. So robin is the case where bees in a hunt for nectar will go into other hives and they suck out as much honey as they can. So without further ado, let me just show you exactly what I'm talking about. So this is the hive that we had a look at the other day, that was calm, cool, like cucumber. Now if you look now, the same hive that we see that had the bearding now also has dead bees at the entrance. And if you look, you see the normal bees using the entrance, but if you look even up at the top up here, you can see other bees trying to find other way into the box. So this behavior, you note it as robbing, and what's happening here is that the other bees from the other colonies are trying to find other ways into the box, and as a result the guard bee or the defending bee will fight off the intruders, and then that is why you'll see the big pile of bees here at the entrance, and these are as a result of the bees fighting among themselves. And yes guys, bees do sting each other. So in this case now, when you see this behavior happening in your hive, then the immediate thing that you want to do is to reduce the entrance of the hive. And the reason you want to do that is because in this instance the guard bees has less area that they need to defend. So they have less area that they need to defend, so they're better capable of defending the hive. Now the other thing about it is that during the period of robbing, any vulnerabilities that your colony has, if the colony is weak, that colony is going to be robbed out completely, and then they're going to abscond the hive. The other thing is that in this time as well, if there's any holes or any gaps within the box where they meet, then the bees are going to try to go in through that exit as well. So you want to plug every entrance. If you look at this box, I see a plug here, there was a little gap here as well, so I plugged it as well. And what that is doing is preventing the bees from only going through one exit, through one entry, and that is here, the entrance, where the guard bees will defend their hive, their colony, and as a result the intruders are killed. Now during this kind of period as well, when robbing is taking place in your apiary, you don't want any form of sugar source being out, as well as you don't want to be entering the box at no point in time. This is going to incite more robbing, and then you, as a result, you may end up losing a hive instead of being able to grow or expand your apiary. So in this case, if you look at this box, I've reduced the hive. The other one beside it, I've also reduced the entrance as well. And even all the boxes in the apiary so far, with the exception of one, which is the most aggressive one that I have, all the entrances have been reduced. And I'm going to keep the entrances reduced until I see that this behavior has stopped. And if you realize as well, there are a lot of bees flying around in the apiary, and at this point in time they're extremely aggressive. So as such, you don't really want to be going into the box at this point. So yeah, if you look at this box right here as well, you'll notice that the entrance here, the entrance is a little bit wider, and if you look, this is a double brood chamber with a super, whereas this hive that's right beside it is a newbie. I think they're about on 7 frames now, and if you realize the entrance is even reduced even further as they're a smaller colony, so they need less of a space so they can defend their colony a lot better. Alright, so the question that you might want to ask is that how is it that robbing has taken place in my apiary? And the long and short answer of it, guys, is that I tried to do an inspection on another video for you guys yesterday, and in doing so I incited a bit of robbing. So as such I had to stop the video, reduce the entrance on the boxes to prevent the continuing of robbing. I actually want to give you guys an example of what's happening, or what actually, when the bees are fighting, what that actually looks like. I'm just hoping that an intruder will try to go into the box. But if you look here, you see the bees standing guard right here. So if you look here, you're gonna see that the bees are pretty much very defensive, and a lot of them are all over the box. In the one beside there, you can see that they are guarding, and they're very aggressive at this time. Every bees that goes in and out of the box is checked by the guard bees before they are allowed to enter. And if an intruder or a bees that does not belong to the box try to enter from the entrance, then the guard bee will attack that bee, and then in the fighting and the stinging, you'll see on the ground a lot of dead bees here due to the fighting that's happening. So we're gonna watch to see how long the behavior persists, and we will take action accordingly then. So for the moment, this is what I'm doing. I've already plugged all other little holes or ways that the bees can get into the box. So the only option that they have is to go through the entrance, through the guard bees. Alright, so this, guys, I want to show you right here is what happens when a bees who does not belong in the hive. What happens? Do you notice that the bees are there fighting and they're trying to sting each other? So that is what the guard bee does. He's gonna try to defend that box as best as possible to ensure that no intruder whatsoever goes into the box. And they will fight and they will sting until the intruder is killed. Once the intruder is dead, then they will remove them from there. So this is what you're seeing there, guys. The bees fighting and the guard bee is defending the box. Once they kill the bees, most time what they tend to do is to move the bees as far away from the box as possible. And the reason for doing that is because they don't want any other form of pests coming near the box. So ants and those kind of thing that eats bees, they will move them away as far as away from the box. So all these that you're seeing here, all these bees that you see dead right now on the ground, give that about a week or so and you come back, those bees are not there. But what I'll be doing as well, I'm going to be doing my due diligence. So as soon as the behavior stops in the apiary, I'll go through and I'll do a thorough cleaning. I'll break away all this from the box entrance, and yeah, to prevent any ants or anything like that from piling up into the box. And this that you're seeing here is an example of what I'm talking about. Alright, so this that you're seeing here is an example of what I'm talking about. If you realize there is a hole here, and because the bees are trying to go into that hole, you realize that guard bees are actively guarding any entrance that they can find. Any other way to get into the hive, they will actively guard there. So this is the role that they play. They are guard bees, and various bees play various roles in the colony. So from the bee hatches out, that bee will start off as a worker, well, a nurse bees is what we call them, and they will remain in the box and tend to the queen, clean the box, and they will chew the nectar to turn it into honey crystals. And then from there they will move from that position up to guard bee, which is this function that you're seeing now, which is to defend the colony from any intruders, also to check any bees that's going in or out from the colony as well. And then from there they will move on to what we call foragers, and it's pretty self-explanatory. They go out, they forage for nectar and they forage for pollen as well. So this hole that I'm seeing here, I may have missed that yesterday, so what I'm going to be doing in order to allow them to focus on other things, I'm just going to get something. And this that you're seeing here is just a cardboard that I just folded up into a little piece here, and I'm going to be stuffing that little hole there. And that's all I'm doing. So when I stuff there, you realize that they're not trying to sting me or anything, as they're more focused on other bees. So I can put my hand there and they don't pretty much react to my hand. So now that I've stuffed that hole, no other bee can get in or out. And you see this guy, little guy around here, trying to test to make sure that the entrance works. Well, the exit that I just plugged, that you can't get into there. So they're testing to ensure that they can go in, and then once they realize that there is no way in, then they will stop guarding this little part here and move on to something else. So that's pretty much it for my little video now. Stay tuned, as much we have more, and as soon as I see more things, then I will show you. Now let me give you an example of how aggressive the bees are behaving. I'm gonna pan out to look at me just to show you how much guard bee is around me at the moment. This is the amount of bee that's flying around me at the moment, the amount of guard bee. And typically in my apiary, unless I'm actually in the box, bees don't fly around me like this and try to sting. And they are flying all over the camera, try to sting the camera as well. So yeah, anytime you see this kind of behavior, then or the breeze just behaving aggressive, you want to check your apiary as well, just to ensure that there's no rubbing going on, because during this summer period, when there isn't a lot of nectar flow, bees are opportunists and they will go into other boxes, other weak hive, other weak colonies, and pull out all their resources, take it back to their hive. So yeah, stay tuned guys, as usual. Like, comment and subscribe, we appreciate it, and have a good one.